Our last myth buster, it's a hard one to say this week, is if I forgive not for me, but for the other person. This is a tricky one because I think that there's lots of times where you end up forgiving because it's what the Lord called you to do, and it's because that's the way that you keep a clean heart with God, and that's the way that it unplugs the stoppage of the Lord's forgiveness coming in and through you. So you forgive. I think for me, I have found that I forgive because, for one, the Lord mandated it. Two, that it's healthy for me. Three, that if I don't, it's really, it becomes problematic for me. So I forgive, for one, because I've seen how the damage that unforgiveness has done in my life over time. Another myth is that if I forgive it if I forgive, then it might happen again. The answer to that is yes, it might happen again. That the person that you forgive might do the same thing that you do again. So forgiving doesn't solve everything. It doesn't mean that there's no conversations that need to happen. It doesn't mean that there are some growing up that has to happen. It doesn't mean that we need to talk about this again, perhaps, especially if it's with your spouse or something like that. But you forgive, and that takes the sting out of the offense. Another one is that if I forgive, I no longer hold them accountable for their offending behavior. Not true. It depends on what kind of behavior that is and the proximity and the relationship that you have with them. If you have a close relationship with them and this is a hurt that continues to happen, I think that actually going to them again, like Jesus said, you go to them again and you talk about it again. You say, hey, this continues to happen, and it's really not okay for me. If it continues to happen, I'm going to have to create some boundaries in my life that because I can't be around this. It's too hurtful for me. So will you work with me in this? And we're trying to gain back our brother or sister. We're trying to resolve these things that we're forgiving in order to, when it's possible, when it's constructive, get on the playing field of reconciliation and see if we can work this out. But forgiving first sets the table for us to work it out without being so triggered.